Hey everybody, this is TechNolli, and today we got a build that is blowing my mind. This is a monster. This is for a channel subscriber. And guys, this is a Threadripper 2990WX 32 core 64 thread processor. We're going to put in this beautiful Gigabyte X399 Pro. We've got, of course, a Radeon 5700 XT, 8 gigabytes, and this monster power supply that we need for this one, this Corsair HX1200i, in this beautiful fractal design case. This is the Define RX, and that's going to be holding all of our beautiful stuff. Excited about that. All right, let's keep moving on. 64 gigabytes of RAM. We've got two 4 terabyte drives right here for data, for backup, and two 1 terabyte NVMe's, along with a massive Noctua cooler for this puppy, and of course, a Fenvi T919 for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which gives us this monster of a build. We're going to dual boot this one. This is going to have Windows on it, and we're going to Hackintosh it. So, excited about this one, guys. Let's get started. All right, guys, so here we go. We got the board. Let's get it opened up, see what we have in this monster. Aorus. There it is. Look at the socket for that Threadripper. Wow. So we got 8 slots for RAM. That's cool. We've got 1, 2, 3 NVMe slots. That's cool. Let's see. Lots of fan headers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fan headers. Okay, that's cool. 2 USB internals. USB 3. Let's see. Front audio. USB for the front. USB-C for the front of the case. These are all of our connectors for the case. Front connectors, front panel. All right, let's look at this little baby. Okay, so we do have a USB-C, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 USBs on the back of this board. 2 look like power, and audio, of course. All right, let's lay this down. Just see what else comes in this box real quick so you know. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 SATA cables. The book. We're going to need this shield. This is handy to put on the front panel connectors, so that's handy to have. A book. We've got a standoff and a screw for one of the NVMe's, and that's all they're going to give me is one. All right. And a badge. Got to put the badge on the case, right? I'll let the customer do that. All right. So there we go. That's it. Now for the most exciting part of this build, the Threadripper. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, there it is. Ooh, look at that, guys. Isn't that a beauty? RYZEN Threadripper. All right. And in here, there should be one of... Oh, look at that. We got some badges. And we've got the famous Threadripper wrench. We're not going to need this right here, but this is also for water cooling, okay? So that's cool. Comes with all that stuff. Put that back in there. Okay, now let's get the board on the box. Okay, so here we go, guys. Now, you want to pay close attention to what it's saying right here. To open this will open up. And to open this, you have to undo screw 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's go ahead and undo these. That one. And number 1. Ooh, nice. Now, underneath this little guy right here are a bunch of pins, just like on an Intel board. And I do not want to touch them. So I'm going to leave that on there for a second and get this processor out. So here we go. Pull on that tab and lift this out. Now, this beautiful processor never leaves this little plastic holder. Okay, so it makes it really easy. So what we'll do is we're just going to kind of pull up a little bit on these blue tabs. Just push them in. And then this cover just slides out. And then we simply slide in the Threadripper. Right like that. Lay it down. It's going to click into place. And then put this down, and it says to close, we tighten 1, 2, then 3. All right, so let's go ahead and tighten it down. I'm going to kind of do even pressure on this. Okay, and then I'll go back up here, give it a final couple turns. And there. Done. So let's get the fan on next. Let me get some paste. Okay, so there's paste in here, so let's get this opened up. Look at that monster. Wow. That is one big fan right there. Let's open this up. Yeah, this is going to keep it cool, I would say. Look at this thing, guys. That is beautiful. Okay, so in the box here, there'll be some thermal paste and a wrench to put this on. All right. Okay, so thermal paste first. Seen a lot of guys do this, and I'm going to do what they do. So they put an X like this, and then they just fill a little bit in each little area. And that's all you need. Now, in order to get this fan on here, we gotta take off the actual fan. Okay, so you just kind of pull these out. There we go. And then this is our protector for our shiny, beautiful fan radiator. And all you do is just kind of line this up. Line all the screw holes up. And then it comes with this wrench in the fan box. And just kind of start tightening it down. And then move a catty corner or cross or whatever you want to call it. Kind of get that started till I feel a little tension. And then we'll just start turning these things down. There we go. All done. There it is. So let's get our beautiful Trident RAM G-Skill out. And we have here 4 modules. Okay. Now for 4 modules, you put one here in the first slot and one here in the third slot, and then one in the second slot here and the fourth slot here. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up. We'll line up our tabs right there and there. Okay. number 2. So we need to get 32 more. Line up our tabs. There we go. And our 4th slot down here. There's our RAM, guys, right there. There it is. Looks good. Okay, let's get the NVMEs put in. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice with that beautiful heat sink? Oh man, these are heavy duty. These are super nice, guys. Wow. All right, let's get them in. So we've already got our standoffs that we needed. Okay, put a screw down on it. Man, those are nice. Wow. And let's grab another one. And here is number 2. All right, let's mount it. Number 2, guys. 2 1 terabytes. There we go. Now, what else do we have to do? You know, guys, before we put it in the case, we better put our fan on this. This beautiful Noctua fan. So when we're mounting the fan, we want to keep it above the memory slots, and that's why I put the memory slots in first. So I would know how much space I need to mount this above it without it hitting it. Now it will slide down into the other slot, but say you want to add 128 and you want to put another memory stick in here, then you're going to want to keep the fan up a little bit, which is no problem. But we're going to kind of do a happy medium right there and just put it right in here. And snap these on both sides. And that's it. And I'll go ahead and plug in our fan. Okay, so there we go. Now we can put it in the case. Let's get going. Okay guys, here we go. Let's get this side panel off. It's got 2 thumb screws here on the back. And then you can just kind of pull on it to open it up. And that is beautiful in there. Nice. Now we are going to show you all the wonderful things about this case. So let's get started with that. So it comes with all of these trays right here for hard drives, and we're going to put 2 of them in there. And then we've got our case fan on the back. These are insulated side panels, so to keep it really, really quiet. So it's a super nice case. Now let me show you something that's kind of neat. You push on this button on the back, and this panel comes off. Now this is another insulated panel, and and you guys tell me, why do I need to take that off? Well, it would be easier to get in the case that way, wouldn't it? Let's leave it off for right now. All right, now let's see. Does this come off like the rest of them? Yeah. Okay, right there. So another insulated panel here, and then there's a filter behind right here that you can take out and clean. And that filter, ooh, look at that. Isn't that nice? So here's your CD-ROM blank, because we're not putting a CD-ROM in here. And then this is just a filter. So that's cool with these other fantastic fans. All right, so we'll put that back in, put this back in. Right like that. That is nice. All right, let's flip it around. Okay, let's go ahead and take these thumb screws off. See what we're dealing with here. Ooh. Look at this beauty. Oh my gosh, wait a minute, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 internal trays, 2 more 2.5 inch that you could put here. Oh my gosh, all the control panel for the fans and everything right here. This is sweet. And then here are our front panel connections, USB, front fans. Woo, man, this is nice. Okay, well, let's get that motherboard put in. Okay guys, so in the case comes this little box with tons of screws, a black cloth. Oh, for the glass. Oh, that's nice of them. Okay, so we've got lots of screws, and we're gonna need them for the motherboard. Aw, that's nice. They put some zip ties in here too, so I can do some cable management. These right here are little rubber cushions for those SATA drives, those spinners that we're going to put in there. Give those drives a little cushion. And more thumb screws. My gosh. Tons of screws. These are for the hard drives. These are for more thumb screws. And yeah, anything you can imagine, we've got. Now, the standoffs are already in on the case, so I'm good to go there. Let's put in the I/O shield first. Nice. Okay, we want to make sure we line this up on the back. Okay, snaps into place. Had to put a little pressure on it, but we got it in there. All right, let's grab this motherboard. Now, yes, I'm going to peel off this plastic. There we go. All right, now, kind of grabbing the fan to set it down in here. Okay, so kind of line it up in the back. And it has a post in the center screw hole right here that tells you you're in the right place. And we look on the back, we've got all of our ports lined up. Looks good. Everything's down. Let's put screws in the motherboard. And one more right here. Okay guys, so we've got it pretty much installed, but I still have some cable management to do to clean this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is put in the graphics card. So let's get this beauty out. Sapphire Pulse 5700 XT. Ah yeah guys, that's a nice one. Let's take off some plastic. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Okay. So let's get this mounted down in slot 1. Line it up with those 2 on the back of the case right there. And it just slides right down into place once you get it lined up on the back. Now I'm going to put on my power cables. Okay, there's the 8-pin, and we'll put on the 6-pin. Okay, there we go. Now I'll tie these cables down so there's no way that that cable can get into that fan. All right. So there we go. Looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and put a couple screws in it up in the front. And we are ready to power it up. Okay guys, so we got it powered on, and I am hitting the delete key to get into the BIOS. First thing we need to do. Now I've already got the USB stick ready to go on this one, and I'm going to do a video, a follow-up video to this one that shows you how to make the Opencore bootloader for a Threadripper, at least for this combination. So we'll be good to go. So today we're just going to install the OS, and then on the next video we'll install Windows, and then we're going to do some quick benchmarks on this puppy. All right, let's go. So we're in the BIOS. Let's go ahead and go in here. Now this one is a little bit different. I know you guys have been watching these videos, or maybe you haven't. Maybe you're new to my channel. But I always like to go through the BIOS setup because, believe it or not, this is where a lot of guys get messed up. Because if you forget one little important item, then the thing just won't boot. Now this is the latest BIOS version on this. So we did update it. The BIOS date was December 11th of 2019. All right, so let's go right on over to Advanced Frequency Settings, okay? So the CPU clock ratio right now is set to auto. I'm going to leave it like that for now. But in the next video, I'm going to show you how to overclock this thing. And we get 3.8 gigahertz on this puppy. So it is massive. And it is quite a bit faster on the benchmarks. But let's go down to Extreme Memory Profile and choose Profile 1 so it does see our 3600 megahertz RAM. Okay, so we can go out of here for now. We'll go over to System. There's nothing for us to change. BIOS, we just want to make sure that Fast Boot is disabled. CSM support on this one, we have to enable it because it won't even boot if we disable it. Okay, so we're going to enable it and then go down here to Storage Boot Option Control and set that also to UEFI only. Both of these are set to UEFI only. Okay, our network stack is disabled and we're going to leave it like that. Let's go over to peripherals. All right, so I do have my graphics card in slot 1, and we'll leave everything just like you see it here, but we need to go ahead and enable this EHCI handoff as well on these USB settings. Now, let's go on down here to above 4G decoding, and we're going to go ahead and enable it. Okay, a little different. And everything else is fine. We do show our 2 MP600 drives in here, NVMe, so we're good. Let's go over to chipset, and everything here by default, AHCI, and our SATA ports are enabled. Power, we can leave it as is. Go over here and save and exit. And I do have my memory stick in there. I don't have any other operating systems on these hard drives, so I don't need to go into the boot menu. I can just go ahead and save changes and let it come up. All right, guys, so once it gets up to the boot menu, we're going to click Enter on Install macOS Catalina External. External meaning it is my external USB. And hit Enter. And away we go. We're going to go through a lot of text, but it's really quick on this one. And we'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, it gets stuck on Force CS runtime for a few seconds there, but we just let it go. Now, we do have a 5700 graphics card in here. And when we do the complete Opencore guide on this one, we're going to show you what we have to put into our config.p list for the 57 or the 5000 series graphics cards to work. Because if you don't put that in that config.p list, then you'll get a black screen right here. But only on 5000 series graphics cards. All right, here we are. So let's go ahead and go to Disk Utility and click Continue. We're going to go over here where it says View, click the down arrow and Show All Devices. All right, I'm just going to grab the first one here to be my Hackintosh drive, click Erase,
and I'm going to call it Mac OS. We're going to change the format to APFS all the way at the top, GUID partition map, and click Erase. And that's fast. Okay, let's go out of here. Let's exit out. Let's install macOS. Continue. Continue. Agree and agree. And select that hard drive and click Install. And this won't take long at all to get down to 2 minutes remaining. It's going to reboot before it gets to the end of the line. It's supposed to do that. We're going to come back up on the USB stick again and continue booting and get to the next part of the Mac OS install. Okay, we'll be right back. There it goes. All right, so we'll come back up. We'll come up to the boot menu. It will default to Mac OS installer, and we'll just let it continue. And there it is, and here it goes. Okay, and again, gets stuck pretty good, about 10 seconds on one line, but it will continue on. And let's see what happens now. Okay, about 12 minutes remaining, and it just rebooted again. Some of them do it, and some of them don't. Some of these Hackintoshes reboot on that screen, and some don't. But we're going to come right back up and continue the install from there. And just by default, it continues. All right, we're coming back up, and we'll continue with that Apple logo. And guys, this has to go completely across the screen. It takes about 11 minutes. And when it gets close to the end, we'll come back. All right, less than a minute remaining. All right, there it goes. Should be our final reboot. Okay, guys, so we're coming up here, and you'll notice on the picker, it now picks macOS, which is what I named my hard drive. So we'll just hit enter or let it go by itself, and let's finish this install. All right, we're coming up here to the last part. All right, here we go. Let's do our thing here. Let's find our country, US, and I don't need to customize that. And here, my Fenby card, I'm going to go ahead and log into my Wi-Fi. And continue. Okay, continue. I don't want to transfer anything, so I'll continue. I definitely do not want to sign into Apple yet, or I will blacklist my Apple ID. So we'll set up later and skip. Agree to terms and conditions. And we'll go ahead and name it whatever we like. Give it a password. We can change our little picture if we want. Okay. There we go. Continue. Customize settings. I like to enable location services and continue, but then I turn off analytics. And continue. And continue. I don't want Siri. Continue. And light mode, dark mode, or auto. I'll put it on auto for now. And the customer or the channel subscriber can change it if he likes. All right. So here we go. We'll just tell it what kind of keyboard we have. And we are done with that. Now let's check out a couple of things. I'm going to go here to System Preferences, and I'm going to check and make sure the sound is working. And looks like everything is fine. I'll go ahead and play some sounds. Yeah, that's the HDMI sound. Right here, internal speakers will be the little green output on the back of the motherboard for speakers or whatever. And looks like we have a mic input. That still needs to be tested. Let's go back And we've got Bluetooth. And let me grab my Apple mouse. I'll turn it on. And there, it found it real quick. Connect. And I'm going to show Bluetooth in menu bar up here. And there it is. It's connected. Very nice. Bluetooth is working. How good does that get? All right, so let's go over to About This Mac and look at what we have. So this is rated as a 3 gigahertz processor. We've got 64 gigabytes of RAM, 3600 megahertz. And we've got our Radeon RX 5700 XT with 8 gigs. We still need to change our serial numbers, and we will do that in tomorrow's video. I just wanted to get it up and show you guys that it's working. Tomorrow's video, we're going to do bunches and bunches of benchmarks, including audio, including some video editing. Okay, so we've got Logic Pro. We're going to test it with this monster, see what it does. We've got video editing software that we're going to load on this, Final Cut, maybe DaVinci. And we will do all those benchmarks tomorrow, including Geekbench 5 and Cinebench, and we're going to test the hard drive speed and everything. So please stay tuned for tomorrow's video on this one, because this is going to be a pretty amazing system. The most amazing system that we've built on this channel, that's for sure. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to build one of these, go for it. Looks like it's going to be a great build for everybody. If you want a super high-end, this is 32 cores, 64 threads. This is a monster. All right, guys? Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you on all the next videos. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.